We got some very, very, very good news this weekend. A story broken by Cub reporter Tank Dell, who was injured by a bullet a couple weeks ago. First, a refresher on just what Tank Dell was this past season. A little 1-minute refresher for you. Yeah. I paid rights for that music. That's how damn excited I am about this. I paid rights for that music. For those of you who don't know, he was shot at a private event a few weeks ago, and there's a police investigation. Tank Dell is a victim, not a suspect, and it was a case of him just being, unfortunately, in the wrong place at the wrong time. So for those of you who don't know, he was wounded at a private event a few weeks ago when there was a gunfight between two people. Tank Dell was completely being treated as a victim by the police in the investigation. He was in the wrong place at the wrong time. But all the reports were that he had a flesh wound. Now, for those of us my age, when I hear flesh wound, this is the first thing I think of, a scene from Monty Python's Search for the Holy Grail.
Look, you stupid bastard, you've got no arms left.
Yes, I have.
Look!
It's just a flesh wound.
Right. So flesh wound doesn't always evoke the most pleasant images for a guy like me. But we were blessed this weekend with a video from Tank Dell's Instagram of him working out and looking already supernaturally fast. Like, frankly, if I hadn't already seen so many Tank Dell workout videos where it looks like it's made by AI, I might be skeptical of this. Just watch this. Cue the dramatic music. Little bit of wiggle there, but it's just incredibly fast, straight ahead. Take it in one more time. Yeah, that's right. I'm going to play this for you like 4 or 5 times. Watch here. Just watch. Pay attention to this. I don't know who this cameraman is, but look at the cameraman in the background. He's running along with one of those little gyro deals. That looks good to me, man. Like, there's just a little bit of wiggle there, but that looks really, really good to me. One more time. Did I do one more? One more. We'll do one more. Okay, that's enough. That's all you guys get for now. I'm going to show you a little bit more Tank Dell later. Also, some Stefon Diggs. So look, I don't want to read too much into this, but I will, because we hadn't seen really anything or had any substantive news out of the Texans or anybody else other than D'Amico saying he's going to be just fine, but he wouldn't put a date on it. We've got OTAs coming up starting this week, so maybe we'll start to see a little bit more how much on-field work is he doing. The two things that I might be concerned about at this moment are, A, just how completely healed the wound is and whether there's any risk for infection or anything like that. B, just how much can he work, and is he going to be limited in kind of building on the relationship we already had with CJ Stroud, which was already really, really good. I mean, there were a couple plays this year. I know veteran NFL receivers and retired receivers were kind of blown away by the almost ESP-like connection that CJ Stroud and Tank Dell had. So I feel really good about this. This video, I think, is fine to read a bunch into. I guess C, the only thing I might be concerned about, just hypothetically, theoretically, is just whatever the police investigation is, and if anything else is unearthed or anything from the video that a lot of us saw, It did not look like Tank Dell was one bit involved in it, but it's still out there. So I am just really excited to see this. As far as Tank Dell and his toughness, I know there were questions about his size, and there will continue to be, because he was injured twice this year during the season. Once a concussion, which wasn't created by contact or anything. It was just him hitting the ground and hitting his head on a reception in the Falcons game. But then there was the big one where a defensive lineman landed on his leg, and you wonder if, whether a guy with a bigger fibula like mine, would a Seth Payne fibula have broken? I'll tell you one thing. I think his size might have helped him in that nightclub, because I don't know, for that thing to be just a flesh wound and pass through, that would have hit me dead center in the femur. I'd have been down for the count. But nobody questions his toughness. Let's go back to the Bengals game, where, remember, he had an incredibly gutsy touchdown in the second quarter. Catches the ball, the 7-yard line, and then takes a hit on his way into the end zone. And we saw this from him multiple times this year. He is not going to give anybody the chance to say that he can't handle NFL physicality. But then the really big thing about that game was what happened a few minutes later. This is an incompletion, but look at the hit. Look at watch the kidney shot he takes. Both kidneys. Do you have 2 kidneys? I don't know how many kidneys. Yeah, you've got 2 kidneys. I would have had 3 kidneys bruised on that, and I probably would have been crying to my mother in the tunnel on a cell phone after. He came back after that play, and he had 2 receptions. He targeted a few times, but looked not. And he came back very, very quickly after that play. So nobody has any questions about his toughness, and certainly not Bobby Slowick, who maybe could be accused of loving him too much to the point of bringing him down into the core on a goal line play. That's a discussion for another episode. Here's Bobby Slowick talking about Tank Dell after he broke his fibula, and how Bobby Slowick, who does not strike me as the most emotional guy, confesses to getting pretty emotional about Tank Dell going down for more than just what he brings on the field.
Yeah, that one, I think everyone will kind of have the same reaction on the team to that one. It's gut-wrenching. It hurts. It almost brings a tear. Not almost. It did bring a tear to my eye. That one hurts a lot. Not as a football player. It has nothing to do with football. Just as a person, as an individual, he's a really special kid.
Honestly, I am so happy to see this footage. I'm happy he's doing well. I'm really happy that this incident could have been a whole lot worse. Remember when the initial reports came out, it was that a 16-year-old had shot into the crowd and injured 10 people. And nobody had life-threatening injuries. And then you found out that it was more than just a 16-year-old with a 22 or something. It was 2 people shooting each other, one with a 9mm and one with a .45. So this could have been a tragedy for multiple people and been a whole lot worse than it was. But on the football side of things, a lot to feel good about. I promised you a little bit of Stefon Diggs. I hadn't seen this. Maybe this has been out forever, but the Texans put it out on their Instagram. This is when CJ and Stefon Diggs were mic'd up at the Pro Bowl.
H-Town slanging it, huh?
Trying, bro, trying to make my mark in the league. It's been cool, bro. Yeah.
There's your blitz.
All right, so laying the ground right there. Players can't be accused of tampering. I think CJ Stroud did some very effective tampering. I know it was a trade, and I know that Stefon Diggs was going to come here with or without, most likely, talking to CJ Stroud at the Pro Bowl. But I like to think that CJ was the cherry on top that made the deal go that much more smoothly. So I'm sorry if I was a little bit hyper in this video. I honestly was at my mom's 70th birthday party and was all wrapped up in this. So I wasn't really able to absorb this until this afternoon. Very, very, very good news. I'm going to send you out with some more dramatic music and some more Tank Dell highlights. Enjoy.
I've heard worse. You lie! Come on, you pansy!